And Hudson Swafford's got a sizable putt to try to figure out, Jane. Lots going on in this 17th green, isn't there?
There is. There's a lot of undulation in this green. It's not that deep. It's only 26 yards deep, but looking at my yardage book, there's a lot of arrows on it, which means there's a lot of slope. And the direction that Hudson is putting down the hill, it's going to have quite a bit of left to right borrow in it as well. Just over 30 feet. Shot link tells us 30 feet 5 inches.
It started way up to the right.
Yeah, and starts to pick up pace as it goes downhill towards the front of the green.
Jane, I found those left to right are so difficult for a right-handed, for we right-handed golfers. It's so hard to get it hit high enough more times than not.
It is. Your eyes always want to go to the hole instead of picking out a point to the left of the hole. And every putt really is a straight putt to start with, and then you just let gravity do the work. As we go back now to the tee at 17, Dennis, and Leash going with another long iron.
Great point, Jane, about straight putts. Every putt's straight, especially if you hit it hard enough, it'll stay straight too. So you got that other option as Leash arms off club and into the right rough, which if you're going to miss here, it's better than left because left is dead. So it's not in the fairway. But is that like the most frustrating thing from a tour player? In my perspective, if I'm laying up off the tee and it doesn't go in the fairway, especially with an iron, I'm frustrated. Yeah. Absolutely frustrated.
Well, we've got a picture of him on the tee with his caddy just muttering to himself. So, yes.
Now here's Snedeker with a fairway medal.
That one started a little bit leftish in my view, and it is, and that is no bueno. That is way worse than where Leash is at. He's got nothing from there, absolutely nothing. He's going to have to chip out, literally, I think.
Yeah, those big trees down the left-hand side, if we get a view from behind the players off the tee box, you can see that he's really going to be blocked out. There's a good view of those oaks down the left-hand side. Right half of the fairway is a must.
Will looked like he tried to hit that one more up in the air, and he hit it right down the center of the fairway. That was definitely an iron that he hit with a lifted swing. That was fun. I haven't seen that very often.
Morikawa, the way he drives his lower body almost a little in front of his upper body with almost a little bit of hang back, and really, really a powerful golf swing. Now here's some.
Yeah, similar to Morikawa, but a little bit different in his left wrist. Morikawa is a little bit more hooded at the top of the swing compared to Zalatoris. Stay up, stay up. Never quite got that started on the right line. Had good pace, but there's a good example of a right-hand player not playing enough borrow with a big left to right break.
Years ago, some fellow pros and I went through a David Pell school, and he said that most pros do not play left to rights high enough. Let's see if Cooch can negotiate this one for birdie.
Yeah. Didn't have quite as much break as Hideki and was a little bit closer, so. And those hospitality stands will be filling up a little bit later as the afternoon progresses. A few more beverages.
A couple of glasses of wine.
Wine country, yeah.
Hudson Swafford safely in for par. Here we are back at PGA Tour Live, Napa, California. Mark Leishman from the right rough.
Thick lie, man. I mean, that's pretty good. Well done to get that ball, to get it to stop there. That lie was so thick and the greens are so firm. He landed in a perfect spot.
From the other side of the fairway, and in the fairway is Will Zalatoris.
This one right here on a great line right here, and this one I think he can get that one to draw back a little bit.
He did, Dennis, and didn't draw back into the hole, but it's underneath the cup, probably maybe 8 feet. Has he got anything here?
Sned's actually he had room, yeah, just right of it. He did a pretty good job getting that on the green. It's a great shot.
Good break.
Here's Matt Kuchar on the 18th tee. Very strong first 9 this morning by Kuch. We're seeing him hit a lot more fairways today, Jane. And you know what? This is one of the golf courses on the PGA Tour where you do benefit from hitting more fairways.
Well, especially with the length that Matt Kuchar hits it. He has to hit fairways because he is not long and he's not going to be having pitching wedges if he does miss fairways from the rough. So, yes, he is definitely driving it much better and even really much better than he has all year. He's 176th off the tee last season, so good to see.
This one might have a little heat behind it. Hudson Swafford, +4 for the championship.
Trying to work it off that. And it's not worked off.
No.
It's going down towards the creek
Could
area.
go almost anywhere. Big oak trees and
Yeah, there's a creek down there, Milliken Creek, that these big oak trees kind of, guard at either side. It's number 14 on the left-hand side, and then this is the 18th fairway. It doesn't run very often.
no.
Not in California lately, sadly. Pretty much of a drought at the moment.
You see that little knee flex by Matsuyama.
He really activates those quadriceps, doesn't he? He's very athletic position at address.
Watch the turn through this drive.
Oh, he's got some strong legs,
boy,
strong
he-
lower body.
Moves hard and aggressively through that golf ball.
I think he's done some leg presses
Oh,
in
I
his
think
day.
he has.
Terrific tee shot.
There's Mark Leishman's putt down the hill, trying to get it to beg to the right.
Go! Yes, your beauty. Oi, oi, oi. A little Aussie action there.
Absolutely.
I don't think he could have stopped that short of the hole. If it didn't, once it crested, you to be off, and this should move slightly right to left for Brandt.
Just a piece of cake for Sneds.
He's the guy that just stole a cookie out of the cookie jar and didn't get caught. That's who that guy is right there.
Yeah.
This is a tough putt, and this is because of where Will's feet are. He feels like it's really downhill, and it feels like it's going to push, but I think it'll be pretty straight.
Oh, he read it well. Nice birdie there for. And he's a Warriors fan. He's a Giants fan.
Now this is where Hudson's tee shot finished.
He's got an alleyway there. He can punch it out low, get it running.
Nice shot.
All right, that's a pretty good leave. Back left hole location today.
All right, you forgot to see your back for a little while. Yeah.
Now here's Kuchar. Some sort of 3-wood shot, Jane.
Yeah, outside chance for Matt to reach. The hole is tucked behind that front left bunker. It'll be tough to get it close, but oh, well done. Very, very good shot right up the opening.
We saw how much trouble the players had trying to negotiate that opening yesterday. Jane, why is it so easy to hit that opening when the flag sticks on the other side of the green?
Who knows? We golfers are weird.
Yeah, we are. Now, Mariyama, I expect this thing to be coming out of the sky. He can really hoist it up in the air.
Yeah, he's got the strength to go more at it, which he does. But it's not going to stay on the green, I don't think. Ooh, and that's right against that long primary rough. So that's going to be a challenge for his talents around the greens.
Now back to the 18th tee and Mark Leishman.
Driver. Let's see if he finds this one. They're pointing straight.
No.
16, even though it ended up the fairway, but it was a ball down the left side that turned over about 3 yards, which I don't see from Leash very often. Sneds doesn't like this one. That's headed left. Ooh, off a tree. Possibly, yeah. You
Maybe
got to
a
kick
couple
back towards the
trees.
fairway, but I don't know if that was a good kick.
No.
Hit the last couple pretty high. Hit it high at 14. He hit it really high at 16.
Maybe down the left, Dennis. He's going to try to move this ball a little left to right here.
Wow.
Boy, really
That looked
well
like
done.
he rerouted it up underneath.
Will Zalatoris' ball staying in the 18th fairway, excuse me. Here we are in the back of the green. This is PGA Tour Live and Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, difficult lie. So much grass behind the golf ball.
Oh, that is
But that's
so
so
great, isn't
good.
it? Oh, that was not that easy, Jane.
It was not that easy. Talk about not easy.
Oh,
Hudson Swafford making a bit of a mess of this hole. That was his 4th shot.
yeah, poor tee shot, and just kind of had to under par, Jane, for this opening 9.
Just under 45 feet. Down and across the green. It's all about the pace.
That got
Come on.
reach.
Oh, that's...
Forward 9. So this is going to be Hudson's putt for par here at 18. Boy, anytime a tour player's got almost a 21-footer for par on a par 5, Jane, you know something's gone haywire.
It's a must-make at this stage of the proceedings. Come on, turn, turn. It's just a little bit back uphill there at the end. There's enough of a slope coming off that left side of the green. There's a little bit of a kind of a raised edge there, some rough. It's a kind of a funky, you could see it as Hudson was playing his 3rd shot.
So now we've got Cooch, 5 under par the opening round. Look at the hands back and watch what his right wrist and hand does on the way through. It almost just locks and goes right underneath.
Yep. It's almost like a push stroke type thing, but 0 degrees of loft on that putter now, whereas when he had the left arm lock, he had to add loft, and he had anywhere from 6 to 7 degrees of loft. So for those equipment buffs at home, a very different setup, and a putter that had to be made specially for him.
There's a formality for current Masters champion tapping in for birdie. Now this is what Sned's got after hitting a couple of trees with his tee shot here at 18.
It's a good spot right there. He laid it up. The big thing there, Jay, was that his ball actually got kicked by someone walking down the rope line, so he called an official over. And I was surprised because they didn't have the exact spot, but the guy was very precise in his foot area. And what they did is they allowed him to place it. I've never seen that before, so that's interesting.
Yeah, typically,
Mark Leishman's
Dennis,
now set to play.
typically if you don't know the exact location, it's a drop every time, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I thought they'd do, but I saw the official was right there, and he had him place it where they'd put a flag down. So interesting as Mark plays. He had to play left of a tree and hit a high cut, and this is really good looking.
Oh my
Just short of the
gosh, that
green.
must have looked great from his perspective. That ball curved 30 yards,
Yeah,
didn't it, Jane?
it sure
Wow.
did.
The third player of this grouping is Will Zalatoris, just from the left-hand side of the fairway.
This is a long ways to hit an iron on the fly to get it to the front of the green. It's a little bit of breeze and all that stuff I said to you guys about the sky higher and it's getting lower and deeper. So that was a tough carry, and he flew it all the way to the front of the green. Man, that's a smash.
As we watch Will Zalatoris' ball just rolled through the green at 18. Come back. Brad Snedeker's 3rd here at 18.
Good angle.
Oh, just pulls back a little bit, but underneath.
Now we run over to the first tee and watch Hideki Matsuyama unleash this drive, Jane.
I Didn't leave much in the bag there, did he?
Man, it makes my back hurt watching him twist and turn so much. Yeah, that is beautifully done.
It's just pummeled out there. Long and straight. It's not going to have much left into the first green.
And now here's Swafford's drive.
Well balanced swing there. Marshall says it's good. Picks up the tee quickly.
Oh, huge first hop.
Look at that. Further than Hideki.
That's just fun. He's a guy that uses the putter a lot around the green, and I don't think he's a poor chipper like a Martin Keimer who putts everywhere because he can't chip. But he loves using the putter around the green. It's interesting.
I was always concerned that the head of that blade was going to get caught up, and obviously he didn't have any concerns. Well done, well done.
It's such an abrupt uphill lie is that if the club gets stuck, there's no energy going past and you can leave it short. It's one of those where you got to hit it just a little harder than you think because you don't get much swing through it. So the club stopped right there.
Yeah, good
when
call,
he hit
Dennis.
it, and just that's all it was. That's all it was. It's just one of those you got to hit a little harder. I always try to hit. Interesting response on why Brad got to place it. The general area of where it was completely uniform. And he says we don't have to try to replicate a lie, so just go ahead and place it in this general area right near where the flag was down. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I think Brand expected more.
More short putts. He's been working so hard in his golf swing. So your reads have got to change if your speed's going to change. And at least this putt will move just a little left to right. Oh my goodness.
I just hate to not get up and down.
With par is just frustrating as heck.
Now here's Zalatoris for birdie.
And another great close-up of his grip. Let's see if he can make a nice smooth stroke. Okay. I don't know. It's an adventure.
Give me a
watching
cup
him.
of coffee if that's smooth. I'm going to have to iron some of that out a little
Hey,
bit, Jane.
it's working. Look,
Yeehaw.
look, he's 6 under par. There is.
First page of the leaderboard, there's a lot of good there.
He hasn't missed that many, to be fair.
No.
Has he? They might not look how we would like them to look or how we would like them putted, but hey, you can't argue with results. It's a funny game, this one.
So we have Leash just cleaning up here for par, and they'll move on over to the front 9. We had a kind of a mixed bag on that. I'm switching seats. Welcome in my buddy Ned Michaels. Ned, Cooch is on a roll this morning, man.
Man on a mission, isn't he? Oh.
All he had to do was put that on him.
And he just hasn't hit quality shots. He hit it to 20, 25 feet.
Correct. We saw that quite a bit yesterday as well, where oftentimes it looks like he's almost taking a driver type swing and hitting some of these wedges. Like that's a lot of motion, Ned, for a little bitty shot. That's a 107-yard shot. I know.
First event of the season, so. Although I don't think he got rusty in the off season.
I don't think so either. It sure doesn't look rough. If this is rusty, I want some rusty.
You got plenty of rusty. And she was short and sweet, said stay out of the way.
You know, Ned, I was just able to have Jack Nicklaus on my show and my podcast, and I asked him the same thing. I said, you know, so many of these kids are made to focus on one sport, and he said, it's all about the egos of the parents and the coaches, and he said the same thing. Stay out of it.
Easy to say, hard to do.
We've seen this club be a bit of a battle. Should be just right of that big pine with a little bit of fade. That ball's going to catch the fairway, but 78 feet of curve, that is just not typical. I was playing it a couple weeks ago, and there was a crack in the bottom of my driver, and it just made a funny sound. And, you know, spent a career driving it kind of funky, so I thought it was all my fault.
Were there cracks in your wedges also then?
There's a crack in.
Kuchar did not plug. That was just a moment ago, and we'll catch up here with Hideki, this live.
So Ned, we're talking about Hideki, we're talking about his hitting. He's hitting a lot of greens. But Ned, that is not a quality golf shot from 100 yards out in the fairway for the Masters champion. It's just not. You know, it's 18 feet from the hole. It was never on line, and it was barely the right distance. I mean, I have to get a little more insight. He's 4 under par for the championship and right in the middle of this thing. With a little more ball striking from the iron game, we may still hear from him.
Well, at 5 over, you don't want to. You want to make them now. Like, save them up, right? Actually, you want to make them all the time.
You
don't
always want to make them. I was going to say. I mean, I'm not.
So Kuchar, he has been top 10 from the bunkers over the past 4 seasons. So if you believe in statistics, this is going in.
I got to tell you, Ned, that's the absolute glue that holds these rounds together. They often get overlooked. Oh, I made a nice putt for par, but man, you don't want to drop shots. Finish on the back 9, 16, 17, and 18, so gettable. And nice thing to have in your back pocket as you're coming in.
That's more like it from Leishman.
Just a beautiful shot, and that had to really suit his eye. It's Will's ball from just in the first cut of rough.
Had to be careful, didn't he?
You know, he doesn't look like he takes a lot of chances, Ned. He hasn't made a bogey yet in this championship, I don't believe, and he's not putting himself in a lot of danger and taking on a lot of flag sticks that don't match his eye.
It's a couple of wedges now to these right hole locations where Brandt just hasn't quite been able to squeeze it in.